Hey, good morning. I'm going to kind of start class like I would on a normal day and go over some of our questions from yesterday from our exit tickets. So I'm going to start with Rome. There's a couple questions around leadership around Rome. One question someone had was, who were the Roman leader or leaders? Basically, they had an emperor. They also had a senate, and the senate is going to rule, make laws, and decisions for them. And the emperor, by this point in history, is basically a super powerful king, and it's going to be passed on to sons and family members. Another question someone had was around the leadership of appointed leaders by Rome. When you look at Pontius Pilate, for example, Pontius Pilate was appointed by the Roman emperor or the Senate to rule over Jerusalem and all that, and Judah, the province of Judah. But these, who did they pick to be the leaders? If they picked Jewish people, like they said, right? Typically, they were people who supported and were pro-Rome, so they weren't for rebelling. Typically, who they would pick. Another question was, what kind of strict laws did the Romans have? If you remember back to the flow cab I showed you, they had certain laws, like if you talked bad about someone in public, or you wrote songs or poetry or wrote things about them, you could be killed for that. So there were certain laws that the Jewish people, kind of like us, don't think are good laws, such as that. Another good question was around the Masada. Someone was asking, where is the Masada? Today it's still in Israel. If you heard in that video, they said it was by the Dead Sea. You could actually see it from the top. How do they know it was there? It was actually a fortress built over many, many years, a long time, basically from the rule of people prior to the Romans and even probably earlier than the Kingdom of Israel. It was just seen, like they said in the video yesterday, as a really good defensive spot. So it will be held all the way through even into the Byzantine era, which will be the Eastern Roman Empire when Rome falls. And we'll talk about that. Why do people take other people over? In particular, someone was talking about Syria. When you look at all of history, unfortunately, a lot of warfare in conquering happens because when you take over more people, you make more money and you get wealthier. That's a big motivation. And B, another reason people take others over is fear. If you talk a different language, live differently, or have a different religion, I'm afraid of it because I don't understand it. So people also go to war for those kind of things. Another question a lot of people had was, why were the Syrians, or just people in general, so mad with Jewish people? Basically, what I was just saying, it's a different religion and they do different things that others find strange and scary because they don't understand it. And hate basically is around that. Fear. Someone who's a bigot, hateful, racist, all that comes from not understanding and being afraid. Humans are naturally afraid of what we don't understand. And that's kind of why so many people will be angry and hateful towards Jewish people. Another thing, why would someone try and force their religion on others? We still kind of see that today. Kind of stems to that last one. Also the idea of humans thinking, I'm more right than you are. That's another part too. And who was the Syrian emperor? Someone asked this question. Who was the emperor of Seleucids, the Greek little empire, who would actually conquer Israel? And that emperor is this guy right here. His name is, I think it was Antiochus the Fourth. And he looks pretty Greek because, well, he was pretty Greek. And later in time, though, they are going to become more and more and more Persian looking because there won't be that many Greeks that will stay in that empire. They're going to become Persian. So, yeah. All right, those are the big questions. Nice job submitting those in yesterday. And have a great rest of your day. I got some notes for you to take. Remember, you're going to be writing your notes down today. And don't forget, there's a journal question to also answer on Flipgrid for tomorrow. Have a good rest of your day, and I'll talk at you when I talk at you.